I want to ask you a few questions with respect to the emergencies orders. After the Federal Emergencies Act was invoked, were any of your personal or corporate bank accounts frozen?
Yes, all of my bank accounts, my joint bank accounts with my former spouse, were all affected. My credit card that was on file with my son's pharmacy were suspended. My former spouse, her credit rating was dropped 109 points. Yes, so everything was frozen. I had access to no money other than cash.
And so these were all your personal accounts, and not just ones that you hold individually, but also ones that you hold jointly with your
Yes.
child and your former spouse?
Yes, they were joint accounts were frozen, as well as my my ex-wife's, my first wife's financial institution reached out and cautioned her that potentially her accounts were going to also be frozen, and I haven't been with her in over a decade.
And Mr. Marazzo, for how long were your bank accounts frozen?
During the entire time of the Emergency Act.
So until the Emergencies Act was revoked?
Yes. And my, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say that luckily we had cash in the house because my son's heart medication, we couldn't purchase it. My account had been frozen. And if we didn't have cash, he wouldn't have been able to get his heart medication. He had, a month and a half previous, had myocarditis and was on some pretty intense heart medication.
And were you given any information, either from the bank or from the police, as to how your bank accounts could be reopened?
I was never notified that my bank accounts had been frozen, and I was never notified that they would be, and I was never notified that they were reinstated at no time.
So did you just find out that they were frozen because you could no longer use your cards?
Could no longer access any of our financial assets at all.
And how did you find out that your bank accounts and assets were unfrozen? Was it just because you were able to use them again?
We just continued it. Once we discovered it, we would check every couple hours to see if we had access to our own money.
Were you able to access your online banking?
Just to get in, you could log in, but there was a message on it that said access to your financial whatever was denied.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Marazzo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.